Now, let's talk about Bob Geldof. You know Bob pretty well?
Well, we've met, and I'm a sort of admirer from a distance, really. I think what he's done is like our conscience, and somebody needs to wake up to what's happening in poor old Africa, you know. I went there with Queen, and it was the first time I'd been there, and I thought the people were so beautiful, you know, just so cultured, really, and mannered, and we're going to do what we can. Aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you part of Live Aid, the concerts?
No,
in the 80s?
I actually wasn't. I watched it on the TV.
Right.
And it was awe-inspiring, wasn't it? I mean, the idea that I think just the name Band-Aid was very clever, because it was as if you could put. I think even Bob Geldof has said this in interviews, as if you could put a Band-Aid on this and repair it, and it's obvious that you can't, you know. And so it highlighted the issue of what's going on there.
One thing about the African Children's Choir, too, is it was started by Ray Burnett, and
Yeah.
he used to travel to Uganda and saw what Idi Amin was doing to his people there. So that's what really started it, was the Civil War, and all those children were left
Those
as
orphan
orphans.
kids, yeah.
And then it's now progressed into helping AIDS, children, or orphans actually, who no longer have parents, and it really gives the kids a family. This choir, it's incredible to see. It really is. Ray Maguire and Brian are very good friends of mine, and I remember being in a mall in White Rock, and I had just met Paul, and he wasn't. He was with me at the time, and so I said, "Hey Ray, I'd like you to meet Paul," and he said, "Oh, nice to meet you." And we got to talking, and he said to Paul, "What do you do?" And Paul said, "Well, I'm a singer." And he said, "Oh," and he said, "Well, listen, if you need any help, because you're new to town and that, just let me know." Isn't that sweet?
He's a singer. That's cute.
Yeah. He's got a pretty good voice.
Guy.
You've won some vocal awards, some male vocal awards in your life, Paul.
Yeah, no, he's been voted, I think, number 1, number 2, back and forth.
Japan.
In Japan, and I think Rolling Stone just had you in their top 50 or whatever that was.
Yeah, it's really nice, though.
You win an award in Japan. What about our people here? Do we not recognize you as one of the greatest rock and roll singers of all time?
Well, thank you,
we do.
sir. I appreciate that.
And
Thank you.
and I love your ballads too. You're quite a balladeer. I remember just falling in love with your voice and your writing, and I think it was some stuff off The Law and The Firm. There was a couple of really nice ballads. I can't remember the names of them.
Actually, with The Firm, I remember Jimmy said, we were recording, I think it's the second album, and he said, "What song would you really, really like to sing that you've never sung and it would be a huge challenge?" And I said, "Well, there is a song the Righteous Brothers did called 'You've Lost That Loving Feeling.'" And it was way out of the box for
That's a tough song.
Yeah, looked at me like, okay, and so we actually did the song, and it's that is a great song. It's
Awesome
got a
song.
huge range, and it's I love it.
And when that movie, I guess that was before the movie Ghost, because when that movie came out, that song was in it, and that song took on a whole new popularity.
Isn't that amazing how those classic songs will do that when you give them a new visual and they just have a whole new lease of life? Yeah.